Okay, let's call the building committee meeting together at 8:04 on Thursday, the 24th. Let's see, roll call. Paul's here. Two Pauls are here. Benny, Jim, and Tom. So that's a quorum. I think Bill's online, so we have a quorum.
Absolutely.
All right. Public comments. Any public comments?
No public comments.
Okay, how about minutes?
I'll move to approve.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor? Got it, okay. Next thing is general business, and I guess Ty, you're gonna be the start of general business, you're gonna have Scott start.
We're coming in hot.
Yeah.
We're just, financial stuff, yeah.
Get the financial stuff later. So things are moving ahead. A little, we had to move our office, so I think some of the paperwork probably is lagging behind a little bit while we moved everything from the trailer into the building. But we do have some updates that we'll review later. I think last meeting I reported sort of concerns about Grasso, Acronom, and Eastern Metals. Grasso has, I think, has responded and is mobilized, and they're concentrating their work in the back of the site. Eastern Metals is back on site and things are moving in that direction. Acronom, the Mason, has guys on site, but as I mentioned last time, the vapor barrier was sort of our hurdle. We have identified an alternate vapor barrier, and we just got that approved yesterday. So that's about a week off. And once we get that material, then we can start the brickwork in earnest. In the interim, they're finishing up some block work, and you know, they still have a pretty good list of things we need them to get behind us. But I think that vapor barrier will open the floodgates and allow us to move forward while we still have some good weather. With that, I'll turn it over to Scott and he can walk you through some pictures and show the progress. You're muted, Scott.
Muted. All right, can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, so I apologize. The camera's here, but I'm looking at our big screen up here. So we've got a lot of, like Ty said, got a lot of good things going on. We'll walk through the site and I'll kind of just go at it. Kind of the upstairs, which is the upper level, again, is kind of status quo. Just that was our first area that we closed up. So not much work going on up there. We're just getting ready to get us temperature controlled, and then we can start working on the final finishes up there, which is going to be in a couple weeks. So we're going to work from the outside in. So what you're looking at here is this is the detention system that is outside on the east end of the rear of the building. So this was a big hit. It was a big footprint that we dug up. We've put it in. We got the civil engineer involved to just confirm everything is as should be, and then we've backfilled it. So this is now a backfilled area over here that you're looking at here. Hitting the next one there. So then scrolling to the next one here. This is again from the roof looking.
Yeah. Scott, one sec. Got a question.
Well, this curiosity. I mean, if you go back to the picture before, about these detention systems, can you just tell me exactly how they work and why, like over 40 years, they're not going to fill up with silt?
Well, you have so what you're looking at here is that black stuff is filter fabric. So that filter fabric gets laid into the earth, into the dirt, and then there's 6 inches of stone that gets placed on top of that filter fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is stone placed between the detention pieces, and then the filter fabric is wrapped over the detention system, creating this kind of like a
Dissipating.
a slowly dissipating water system. So it holds the water and slowly releases it back into the ground is how it kind of functions. So now that we've added more surface area and more roof drains and stuff like that, and we're shedding the water away from the front of the building, this is
clean
the
water. This is the
storm
storm water.
stormwater, clean water. So I don't know
Okay.
if that answers that question. It's
No, that's good. I just wanted to know how it worked. I wasn't
Yep.
questioning it. I just
So-
wanted to educate myself. Thank you.
Yep. So those baffles remain empty on the inside. The water kind of fills up as if there's a lot. It can't percolate quick, so it allows it to be stored there as it percolates into the earth, and so on. Then you have those two little inspection tops that you can pull up and inspect them, every 20 years or so to just check them. If you got to clean them out, then you can get in there and clean them out.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Apologize for stepping on you. So this is looking towards
So this is where.
towards the rear area. This is where our trailer was, right down in this area here. If you look to the left there, the detention system is just kind of up in this area a little to the left there is where the detention system was. What we're doing here is we're getting ready for the catch basins. These are the two catch basins that are going down there. That's one.
Yep.
And then there's one up on the other side that we're putting in. That's going to be on the east side of the retaining wall. You can see the stairs are framed right there. The stairs are formed up and ready to pour. So those stairs will get you from the lower lot to the upper lot. There's the old stairs in the foreground, the old stairs that we just got to take out. And we're preparing that area to begin to receive the retaining wall and the grading that happens back there. If you look at this next one here, we're cycling through. All right.
Sorry, I gotta go one at a time first.
Yeah, we just got to go one at a time here for a second. What do you got for me, Larry?
It's coming. Sorry.
Okay, so this is so we jumped up on the roof just so you can see some progress there and kind of get a visual of what's happening up there. So to the left, so shut them down. So to the left, you're going to see all right, apologize. That's what happens when you move into the building. They're drilling down below. Mike, if you could just take a look and tell them to hold off for a little bit down, and I appreciate it. So this is what you're looking at is the roof. We're looking to the north. We've got the exterior sheathing is on, but we've left this little door opening here just so we can get onto the roof, but that eventually gets closed off. We're starting the parapet walls, which is going to put us in a position where we can then begin the process of getting the roof ready to get on. So the roof will be able to get on it and work over there. So good progress here. It's an important part of keeping us watertight and getting to the next step for the roofing. All right, this one here is us looking from right where we had that detention system, looking towards the building. Again, just trying to give you an idea of flavor. If you zoom in, Larry, to the top right, you'll see the parapet on the exterior of the parapet wall. So we're putting all the wood framing up there, which will allow us to begin the process of getting the soffits and the fascias in. It's a lot of linear feet of layers of framing, of wood, of sheet metal and the likes. So we thought it was a good photo just to show you the progress on that back area. In here is us looking towards the Sally Port from the north looking south. You can see here the frames are in for the garage doors. That was a big part of getting this to this point so we can continue with the infill of the masonry. One of the challenges with Eastern out here. So we got them out here to finish those up and are able to do the infills here. Ductwork is going in above, getting ready to receive the rooftop units above the Sally Port. So you can see that ductwork up there, and it's tight to the ceiling. See how high those frames are? The frames are so high, only giving us a 1.5 foot of space above them. So keeping that ductwork tight was one of the challenges that we were able to manage. And then to the right, you just see that the door frames are getting closed in and the exterior walls are getting ready to receive the vapor barrier. Down in the right-hand corner, that is the oil water separator. So when the cars pull into the Sally port and there's some oils and greases, it allows it to drain the water into this system. This system holds the oil, and then the water just flows out and gets ejected to the sewer system.
No, inside.
Going inside. So again, some good progress inside. First, this is the lower level looking to the south with the fitness center to the right. There's our windows to the fitness center. The congested ceiling. This is all of the heating, hot water supplies and returns, sprinkler pipes, and all of the mechanical systems that have to cross this corridor to get over and out to the locker rooms and the new building. But we're in the process of sheetrocking and closing up walls there, so we can begin the next step of getting these soffits ready as we challenge ourselves with a couple of little bits and pieces. All right. This is us looking down into the boiler room. These are small rooms, but again, just trying to show some progress here. We've got the pumps on the right. You've got the water heater. One water heater is hanging. You can kind of just see it behind the ladder there. The electrical system, you can see those wires are what's pulled out to the generator. So we're ready to start terminating the wires in there and prepare for the next round. The boiler in the foreground is the boiler with the exhaust flues and the fresh air supply intakes. So we've got a lot of activity down there. It's a congested ceiling. This was part of our challenges that we've managed to get through, and we'll continue down the lower level. This is the upper level. So right now what you're looking at is you're looking to the north. So we're standing in the new addition. To the left is the corridor of the existing building.
Our office.
That's our office area right there, near the records area and right behind dispatch. That is the doorway opening that goes to the stairwell that will go downstairs to the locker room area, the training area, and that'll get you outside as we continue with this block up. But again, a broad view is all the ductwork in overhead. All the wires and drops are ready for lighting and miscellaneous. We've got some rooftop equipment wiring also that's ready to poke up to go up to the roof. The sprinkler system is in. You can see that some of the sprinkler heads are coiled up there, are ready to get dropped. Framing is done. That's the back of the sheathing. We're preparing for the spray foam insulation to start getting installed. So again, it's a small space, a lot of pieces moving up there, but certainly we're continuing forward. And then this is again the corridor looking in towards the new addition. That's the stairwell right there. So we're just trying to show you some of the old terracotta there, but the framing in this corridor to try to continue this hallway work again with the huge amount of duct work and pipes and refrigerant lines, IT wires. There's expansion joints up there. So there's a lot that's happening up above. But we wanted to just take a look at that and see how we're getting the duct work across to the new building.
That's it.
And that is those are the main focus of what we've been hitting on. I don't know if there's any specific questions or something you didn't see that you want us to get out to the team. Certainly, whatever you got.
Scott, do you have any photos of the cell areas? You can see.
We don't have any photos of the cell area. It's kind of what we showed the last time. It's tight. We've got the plumbing is getting dropped down into those little cavities, the little crawl spaces behind the cells. So there's activity there, but to show a picture didn't do justice. So, but good point. We do have a lot going on in the cells. We've got all the plumbing going on. I've got a plumbing inspection today to get the sign off for the jail cell plumbing system. We've got all of the ductwork up and sitting and ready to receive the jail cell ceilings, which gets welded into place. So there's a process of installing those ceiling pieces. Just overhead work is really what we're looking at, mechanical systems. Again, the locker rooms are all sheetrocked. I think we showed that in the photo last time. And we're ready to start applying the tile. Once we get the tile up there, I'll incorporate some photos for that as we get the tile started on the walls. and then they'll work down to the floors. The shower basins are set and in place. So right now we're sheetrock and we're just taping the sheetrock as we get ready for the next round of activity, which is the tile down there to start that tile work. And then spray foam insulation is starting Friday down in the fitness room on the west wall. The exterior walls were required, so we're preparing for that tomorrow. They're going to prep and then probably spray that Saturday, just because it puts out a little bit of an odor, and we wanted to maintain men working, and we didn't want to shut down the job for this odor. So we're going to do that on Saturday.
Any questions?
You know, I'm trying to just give you snippets. Certainly, I could talk for hours, as everybody knows. So I hope it gives you.
Scott.
We appreciate your restraint.
Thank you. It was hard. It was hard.
Okay,
Okay,
Ty, you're going through the,
Yeah, we're going to jump through to the numbers.
Okay.
Again, most of what we're going to talk about is just numbers, changes going from pending to approved. So there's, for the most part, it's stuff that we've already talked about. So number 32. Again, this just went from pending to approved. This was an ASI dealing with the coiling door and some bearing plates related to the some of the revised structure for MEP coordination and whatnot.
Sorry to interrupt. Larry, can you share your screen for our people that are online?
Yep, we're jumping on it.
Thank you.
No.
Down to 57, we talked about this last time. This is the bump out on the foundation wall that we removed just so that we could have a monolithic waterproofing system that was, I think we thought it was like maybe an old coal chute or something like that at one point. So again, that just went from pending to approved. The next one is has to do with the MEP rerouting. This is the digging of the trench in the basement on the lower level to reroute the electrical. You'll see that there's still some money in the approximates, the 27.5, and that's some of the architectural changes that Larry's still processing. But this is the bulk of it is now in the approved section.
So on that one, as soon as it looks like it
A little bit
could
over.
possibly
Yeah.
go a little over the 95,000. I don't know if you want to, if we can want to increase it by a couple $1,000s now, or we'll just vote on it when we know what
you
it
think
is.
that the 27 is correct?
I'd have to defer to Larry, but
2,000 over.
I'd wait. I myself, just A, we may not have to do it, and B, it might be $1 more and then we have to do it again. So I would hold off for now. Until we have the real number.
So when we did this, we voted on these when they were in approximate or pending. So we've
Right.
already voted, right, on all these changes?
You've already voted on that one for the 95,000.
Right.
And generally speaking, if we move the whole column from the pending to approved at a meeting, maybe 3 or 4 ago, if there are small items that are, $5,000 and $10,000, I approve them and then we just move them all as a total.
Right. I just didn't know which of these we had to
Yeah.
vote on, that's all.
Yeah.
I know that we'd have to do the one that went over 95.
Thanks. Number 74 was an ASI, changing one of the walls in the records room to accommodate some furniture and then also some accessories in the area. So again, that just went from pending to approved. Next page. There are three new items. The first one is an approximate of 7,500, 91. This was an ASI issued by the design team for some power and teledata revisions. Most of these were either in the new addition or the IT room. The next one is ASI 36. This bears some discussion. I think the last meeting, I mentioned that we have to remove the paint, and we've had some difficulty finding a product that could remove it in its entirety. We've done a couple of shots, and there is a shadow that remains from the old paint that was on there. So the conclusion, meeting with Brian, is that it's not going to ever look like the brick adjacent to it. And we can't seem to, we haven't found a product that can get it clean. And it also looks like some of that brick is actually a different brick than the brick that's adjacent to it. So the strategy now is to paint the brick with a product so that it will look as close to the adjacent brick as possible.
Where is this on the building?
This is on the backside or the east side of the building. A good section of it, was painted white. I think that was more of a waterproofing strategies at some point, because I think they were getting some moisture through the brick. So they painted it.
But this
and
isn't where the addition is. This is outside.
right on top of the addition.
Okay.
So we removed a lot of that, or we're burying a lot of that brick that was painted. And it's just, oh, you can see it there. Yeah. It's the top portion there.
It's white now.
It was painted white decades ago. Yeah. And and
So they discovered when they actually went to take off, the plan was to take it off.
Yeah.
They took it off and they found a lot of, they must have known they were gonna paint it, so there's just a bunch of random different colored bricks behind it. So, it was in the back. It was, it was in the back and it was gonna be painted, so the bricks, all the infill bricks and stuff don't match, so it looked really odd. So unfortunately, we have to take it all off because that's not the right paint for the building. We put on a breathable system, so instead of just taking it off, now we still have to take it off because it doesn't breathe like it should. And then we'll have to paint it with we should coat it with a masonry coating that breathes.
How often does it have to be recoated?
I'm not sure what product they specify, but it's usually, they usually say a 10-year
Yeah,
life,
10
but they say a 10-year life and usually get, 20. but-
yeah.
So this isn't an aesthetic issue, it's a functional issue.
It's both.
Okay.
I think it's primarily an aesthetic issue.
It's not an area you can see very well from the ground.
Right, you can see that there on the screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it happens to be a horizontal picture, but you can look on the left-hand side, you can
It's
see
a
the
deeper red. Yeah.
right, and then the right is more like a clay brick. So it just doesn't even come close.
Why don't we just, I move that we approve this on the basis of both functional improvement and for aesthetics.
Yeah, this is kind of a swag right now. We've got to get the material and whatnot. So I don't know if you want to approve it now or wait till we get a little bit more definition.
The Department of Commerce to negotiate buying numbers.
It's a real. So the motion should be that building committee approves this and authorizes the public works department to negotiate the final amount and type of material.
Do we want to do the 7,500 is new as well, right?
We usually just move those when they go to the pending change.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's okay, I mean,
Okay,
I'm
that's
sure
fine.
we can, but it's not
I
required.
think this is one, painting the brick, the white brick, upper level and back. And what are you gonna do to this side?
It's going to be a color as close to the adjacent brick. Yeah. So it doesn't jump out at you quite as much.
Is this going to disrupt any other progress on any other jobs, or is this something that can be done on its own and it's not going to?
It's going to require some scaffolding just to get to every place, or a man lift coming in
Yeah.
from the side. It's logistically a little tough to get to, but no, we just can't do it while they're doing the roof above it.
I see.
So that's the.
How long will it take to get all that, or you don't know yet? 'Cause-
We've got to remove the existing paint and then put the other paint. I would think it's, probably a 2-week process, 2-3 week process.
I think more importantly, it's not going to end up on the critical path of the project.
No, definitely.
It's exterior painting.
So we approve this $1,000. Motion to second. All in favor?
Aye.
And this is, the last one is just some curb elevations. Oh yeah, this is the curbs in the front of the building. We noticed that some of the grades weren't really working properly and wasn't going to get the water where it needed to go. So we met with the civil engineer and he gave us some adjustments to the grades. So we had to adjust some of the curbing to allow so that, you know, the grades weren't higher than the curbs in some cases and things like that. So we're actually funding that out of a hold because we had some money sort of addressed for some site work and we weren't going to use it. So we used some hold money instead of change. And you'll see that when we go to the flip to the next page. So under the holds report, this first thing is the curb elevations. Grasso actually had the curbs in, then we had to pull them out and then put them in at the new elevation. So we used $5,000 of that $15,000 hold bucket. So that doesn't constitute a change to the project. Then on the next page, the 3 yellow items, a similar situation. We had some small steel revisions. This is just to help us get pipes across the corridors and whatnot, adding little lintels here and there to accommodate all the structural requirements for the bearing walls. So it's represents about the $10,000 we used hold money to cover these structural revisions. Then the last page, similar situation here. We have some fire protection work where, again, coordinating crossing corridors on paper, you know, it looks like you could just go straight across, but then when we got in the field, we had to adjust up and down for a lintel, existing lintel or a new lintel. So some of the piping that was installed had to be rerouted. So again, we used a hold to address those slight little changes, sort of field condition coordination situations where some things had to be adjusted from the original plan. Other than that, no adjustments to the allowances or the contingencies at this point. Again, Larry was sort of concentrating more on moving things forward that we're sort of already in the queue. And I think the next meeting, he's got more time now to sort of focus on some of the new changes. But overall, I think you see the volume of changes have reduced, and it's going to be, you know, I think a smaller flow going forward.
Is there anything new on the window replacements? Have they been coming in, and what percentage of them have been replaced with the new ones?
Yeah, the windows are at Ring's End. We just want to do clean the masonry work and do all of that before we actually change the sashes out. So, you know, some of the acids and whatnot that you clean masonry with, we're going to protect the windows, but we don't want to, you know, we don't want to risk the new windows. So we have some windows we're going to throw away. We might as well wait until that process is done. Any other questions?
Okay, ready to move on to cost reporting? Gene, do you have a report?
Let me share. All right, so since the report that we made at the beginning of the month, the only 2 changes that we're recording are the PCO 91 and 92, which amount to 37,500. So you know, we added that to the budget report and its effect on the soft cost. So right now, if I scroll down to the bottom, we're about $913,000 remaining in the owner soft cost. compared to 948 that we reported last time. And again, that's directly attributed to those two additional PCOs that were added. The other thing I'm not sure if it's been reported yet, but we did get some, I think, great news on the furniture. Furniture came in on budget. We're still reviewing them. So, other than the split of the way the money kind of played out, there's enough money to fund all the furniture that was prepared by Kama and Brian's office. So as we get through that and get the final accounting, there's some adjustments that are being made on a couple pieces. Once we get that final accounting on that, we'll report the exact figure to the committee. But so that was good. That's about it since the last report.
Paul,
Since we're on that page, gym equipment, I just see that in there.
Gym equipment, yeah, we just don't have,
We're gonna have to discuss this at some point, maybe not right at this moment. But I don't want this to get lost. There's a line that says to be donated by the PBA, which I'm against that. Let's discuss that at some point, all right?
Yep.
has the gym equipment been selected so we know what the actual cost is?
We've got a gym committee. What's approximate?
Yeah, we had 4 different renderings from 4 different companies to give quotes. So there's 4 different prices. I don't want to give them right now. I don't have them in front of me, so I don't want to be misquoted. But there are 4 different build-ups, renderings of where the gym committee had the companies build around how Turner did the room. So the outlets are in the right places and everything's in the right spot now. It just needs to be equipment installed.
Did you pick one of the 4?
The gym committee did select one. I could go back and get it and bring it next meeting if you guys are interested in seeing it.
Around what, Matt, how much money are we talking about?
I believe the top quote came in the area of 140,000.
Is that the one you chose? Or is
I'd have to go back and look. You'd have to pull it up.
Yeah, it's getting to be that time. It's getting to be that time where we had to make these decisions. So I just want to get it in front of the committee.
I agree, Paul. Time to put this thing to rest.
Because, one way or the other, we got to, a decision has to be made here soon.
So do you want to bring a proposal to the next meeting so we can?
I could do that,
decide?
sure. Yeah, no problem.
Yep, it's a very good thing to put on the agenda. Yep.
I mean, when do you have to place the order?
It's probably in the area of a 3-month delay, equipment.
So if you order it in February, you'd have it by May.
In theory, yeah.
All right. We still ought to get it decided as long as everything has been researched and we know what we're going to do, we ought to decide.
And what about the training room on the 3rd floor? We had originally earmarked some money for that, and I don't know where that is right now.
Which are the 2 rooms? I mean, we had 2 rooms on that. We had the,
There's a
right, you mean the one that had the pads and everything?
No, that was next to it, the
I think it's
virtual
in the
training room.
southeast corner.
So there's still money in there. It was, I think you had a different solution than the original one that Leon had.
Yeah.
300,000, I think
Is that what?
$40,000, I think was the last one you had for the virtual machine.
I don't know, Chief, you want to speak to that? We just got back from the Chiefs conference. We saw several different vendors for simulators of various kinds, whether it's virtual reality or screen-based. We'd have to kind of sift through all the information we got and look at the prices, but the prices were varying. The lower end systems were, I believe, in the area of 17,000, but 20,000, not ideal. And then obviously it goes up to the virtual equipment that the chief was putting in the original budget. So it runs the gambit from about $20,000 to, $200,000.
Well, there's no doubt we should probably start sharpening our pencil in some of what we generically call the soft costs here, over the next month or 2 to try to get that, a little more buttoned up for the late spring when we turn this thing over. So, maybe the next 2 meetings, we spend some more time on those things.
So there's what, 300,000 for the training room?
Do you know we're at $300,000 still as the placeholder?
Gene?
I don't-
The question was, is there still $300,000 in the training room budget for as a placeholder?
Go back to that. So we had this line item 242, there was $330,000 in there for training sim.
I think we can easily cover gym equipment and the virtual training system and still have money left over out of that.
That was my question, because the equipment here is going to be much less than expected.
Much
We can
less
apply
than
this to the training room.
Yeah, we'll have a considerable amount left over from that, so we're in good
So-
shape there.
So the net is we should be able to cover the training room and the gym equipment with no increase in the budget.
Correct.
That's where.
Okay? Sounds like a good
But we
plan.
just want to kind of get it in order now.
Right, so bring that formal proposal next time, please.
I will, yes.
We'll get, like Andrew said, we spoke with 3 vendors of the virtual training equipment, so we'll get 3 quotes for that as well. And look at those systems. So for gym equipment and the training simulator, we'll have those quotes for hopefully next meeting.
Right. So when we vote on that, can you just I'd be curious, just bring us a description,
Yeah.
like in more detail about
Yeah.
what exactly the gym equipment is and the virtual training
Yep.
and like why you picked that level. I know you never, what it'll do for training the
Yep.
police
Yeah,
in
I
terms
think,
of the virtual.
Yes, yep.
yeah, and they've been working on this for months. This is not a,
No, I know. I
Yeah,
just thought we should see
but
it,
now
right?
it's
I mean,
coming time
I'm
to get
excited,
it together.
Yeah. I think you'll be impressed. It's pretty interesting. stuff.
committee.
We'll bring the gym committee in.
That'd be good.
All right, anything else for Gene?
I want to talk about those 2 offices that we discussed last week, the 2 offices that are, I don't know whether it's a Gene issue or a Ty issue. We took a walk through yesterday. There were 2 offices on each end of the building that are kind of isolated and with no windows, right?
Right.
We all
I
remember.
know, I
Right.
asked about those.
Is this the right time to bring that up or?
Yeah.
In walking through it appears as though the office, which is the IT office on the south side of the building, there is a little bit of space for some glass that could be put in, or at least a glass door that should be put in for some light or some exposure to the
Okay.
hallway. On the north side, the records office is kind of jammed because there's a solid wall that can't be reached on one side. There's actually 4 walls around it. There's really no place for a window. It's exterior, interior and interior.
Could have a safety glass door, Brett.
But if we could put a safety glass door or something for trams and like Paul had discussed, glass above, glass door. The walls sort of, the distance between the other wall and the doorway is only like about that much. So even just putting a sheet of glass in there doesn't do a heck of a lot. And it's already sort of filled in.
For what room?
Sheetrock. The records,
Is it records or evidence?
record evidence, that office.
Evidence, Jenny's
Jenny's
office.
Okay.
Jenny's office. It's just tight.
And for the IT room, we just need to be careful because we ran into this
Yeah.
issue at Locust was with security requirements from the state and the federal government, we have to be careful of what screens are visible. We even had issues where we faced a screen on the 2nd floor. The state came in and said, no, you have to turn the screen. It can't be visible from the street, even though nobody from the street. So
Right.
let's work with our staff before we just put in a window arbitrarily because we may not, it may trip some security
Yeah, okay.
ramifications.
Which is,
So,
this is stuff that I didn't.
yeah,
I'm sure the committee will approve it. Just tell us what you want to do.
okay.
Yeah, just because you guys were up in Boston, and I just took a
Yeah.
walk through the other day.
Yeah.
So an easy solution would be there's already doors that have light kits in them. So basically they just have a piece of glass in the door. So we'd have to order 2 new doors and it wouldn't be that expensive it'd be, a very cheap fix.
Security glasses.
It would be the same level of security as the rest of the building. It would be the same door. So you could look at that, discuss it with your staff and if you
Well,
want to do it.
We want to make sure Brian's good on this too. I mean,
I talked to Brian already.
okay.
He's okay with putting in the glass lights if they wanted. He was just the same cautionary stuff that the chief just brought up.
All right, we'll talk to our staff and see what they want.
It's not going to be that much money where it's going to require an approval from the building committee. It'll be cheap enough.
Okay, sounds good. Next steps, general business.
Source connection, where are we?
I want to bring up again, Halloween security concerns. I know you guys, I think are having some lighting brought in, but I was wondering, I'm sorry?
We have two things on the table.
It's all right. I didn't have my mic on.
Oh, I'm
go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. I'll
ahead,
come
Bill.
back later.
Okay, let's take Halloween security, then we'll take the power source. So anything special on Halloween security for the site?
Well, I was wondering if we should get the CERT people there as well, to help with the crossing. Again, the more you look at it, I think lighting will certainly help make sure kids that do try to cross, to walk along that side, which we don't really want to encourage them because they will be in the street. At least won't be tripping over the fence. But I think if we have a couple of CERT people on each end, they can help the kids to cross over to the west side of South Avenue. Like I said, there will be approximately 700 kids out there on Halloween night, and that stretch of road. And I just think that we need some adult supervision to get around the police building and to make sure no kids are running in the street there. So I don't know, do we call the CERT people or how that all works? And of course, whatever the police is the final say. I'm just a citizen here, but I am a little concerned about this.
Is there any way to open the sidewalk for one night? Move the fence 3 feet for one night?
No sidewalk.
Okay.
So, it's been pulled up, so it's just dirt right now.
So do people walk
Couldn't open
down the
that?
grass right now? What do they do?
I think they cross over.
Right now, the control is that they cross at the crosswalks.
What do they actually do?
What they actually do is walk in front of the fence. They walk right. They walk between the fence and the road. I mean, if you have mirrors on
And
your.
so if CERT were to supervise that, would that just be the safest way to keep things going?
The safest way would be to move the fence, and even if it's just gravel, just allow a path for people to walk on that, because they're gonna walk on that side of the road.
I think they're going to, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, and I think CERT's gonna be trying to herd cats at that point. There's only so much they can do too.
Can you put those barricades like we have downtown, they'll be gone, I mean, could you put like cones and then those barricades like we have in downtown to create a false walkway for that?
Right now, there is no, that's what I'm saying. We should
No,
push
I
the
know.
fence to open.
No, I'm saying you leave the fence where it is and then you put cones to kind of make a like you would have a normal traffic calming measure, like if you're doing construction and then you put those
How much
false
space,
barricades to create a false walkway.
how much space is there?
I don't know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Is there a bike lane there?
No, there's a edge line, but I don't know exactly how much distance there is on the edge line. She says that, the barricades are 32 inches wide, so they couldn't take up even, they're gonna take up a good portion of that space.
Yeah, so the fence is on stanchions too, so there's a little footprint to those, so I think it would drive people too far out into the street, so I wouldn't. The barricades too far out into the street, I wouldn't do a lane shift. It's gonna be 2 or 3 hours. I think it would be more cost effective to pay a police officer overtime than it would be to do all this work.
I think you might be right about that. I mean, I think if we had an adult on each end, it'd be more than one policeman or CERT or whomever, 2 on each end of the construction site. That might be, and like I said, additional lighting so that people, so the area is lit up a bit for the 3-4 hours. That might be the way to go. But I really do think we should do something there.
We could carve out a walkway, but whatever we do, we're gonna have to remove for when we, grab it. Oh, cone.
Yeah,
We can,
we'd have to look and see the width.
How much space between, the space between the fence and the street curb line? Is it
I mean,
tight?
people are walking single file through there.
Okay.
So, I mean, we need a safe solution to this, right? And why don't we put this in the hands of the police? And if it requires overtime or requires something, it's because we're having construction. We have a good contingency. I don't know, I mean, could it come out of our budget to pay for this if we need it? I mean, we just, the last thing we want is to have anything go wrong. I mean, we've had an amazingly smooth construction process with no, problems. So why don't you come up with a solution?
Well,
And if it has-
so I think the
And we
easiest
can-
solution is move the fence 3 or 4 feet back for one night, even if it's not the sidewalk, if we
It,
can.
it is a driven fence, so.
Oh, it is, so it's
yeah,
not
It's
movable.
not, it's not a
Okay.
portable fence. It's
Okay.
driven so that it doesn't blow over and stuff.
Okay.
There's a combination of both now, because
I mean,
it's
if you need-
driven, there's things
A
with
lot of
stanchions on the
utilities,
thing,
yeah.
there's.
This is, Parkinson's law, the coffee machine gets all the discussion. This will cost less than $1,000 if we hire some people.
Yeah, we'll handle it. We'll get it handled.
And also, we talked about removing that yellow sign. There's a sign that's actually directing people to, in the middle of the building, there's a crosswalk, right? To lead from the church to the front door of the police station. But there's also still a yellow sign there that's pointing people to use that crosswalk going southbound, which I've gone by for the last 5 years and didn't notice it. But if you could get that removed, would be great. And we talked about painting over but you kind of
If I
can't do
paint
that.
over it, yeah, I'm afraid that I won't get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had to get an encroachment permit for it. I stripe over it, I won't be able to get it striped
Right.
back.
So,
The thought is to leave the stripes, but take the signs down. Right, one side's already blocked off, they can't use it. So just to take, and that sign is actually behind the fence, the one that's on the church side, we can take down. And not direct people across the crosswalk to an area where they can't walk. So,
Okay, this part is resolved. Paul, what was your next,
the Eversource connection.
the next thing we wanted to bring up is status of the Eversource connection?
Scott, you want to take that?
Yeah, so right now we've received back so there's 2 Eversource connections, the electric side first. We received back from the town the clarification of the easement. So we've sent that out to Eversource, and we got it the other day. Give them a day to digest it, and then our electrician's going to reach out to them today and just see if they acknowledge that is acceptable for us to proceed with the transformer, releasing the transformer, getting everything in order. So that should be happening today, Monday, as we give them a moment to digest that. And then the gas is set to be installed on for the 13th of November. So we've got our tap ready for November 13th. And between those 2 things happening is the water line. The water line tap, we should be getting the tap card on the 25th, which is tomorrow. And we've got about 3 days worth of work to get that tap in. So last week of October, first week of November, we're going to be doing the water tap. So you got water tap happens, then the electric comes across for the transformer, and then the gas line goes in. So the transformer is our main focus. All the other 2, the gas and the water, seem to be in order. So right now our chase is for the transformer, and hopefully we'll know something today, Monday, as we chase and stay on top of Eversource electric side.
Right, but those conduits are done by us, and then we
Correct.
just need to confirm where they're going to land.
That is, we need to confirm where they're going to land and the fact that they are allowing us to land them where we need to.
So
Okay,
as you know, as I mentioned before, just if there's any issue with them scheduling it, tell them that, you can just put me in contact with them. So one thing shouldn't control the other.
No, yeah, so we just got the information back just the other day, so we forward that on. We got to give them a day or 2 to digest it, and then we'll chase it. So yes, it's on our agenda for today and tomorrow with our electrical team to maintain that single voice to Eversource. If we think that there's going to be a stall or delay, we'll definitely let you know.
Thank you.
Okay, any other general business or next step activity? All right, the meeting will be adjourned. Thank you. Everybody's in favor of that, so meeting's adjourned at 8:54.
And Joe, we're hanging for the beautification meeting on this same connection?